And as I say, we are told it is going to be a safety car start. So the field sets off now. And so the race is on. This is into the 30 minutes that we have. So the safety car gets the race underway, and the field then for 30 minutes plus 1 lap heads down towards Magny Cours. The grid is complete, but you'll see there evidence of the cement dust. So just to reduce the risk to drivers of starting on that, having a lack of grip and perhaps causing another incident behind, whether it's going to be only 1 lap or 1 start-up lap, then a quicker lap to get the tyres up to temperature, because they haven't had a formation lap, of course. We'll wait and see, but it may well be that we have 2 laps, 1 quicker than the first, behind the safety car before they are released, ready to go racing. Yesterday's race, we had 21 laps. The expectation was 19, but 21 we got to, because it was a quick pace. Plus, of course, that, if you like, bonus lap, regulation lap at the end. And even then, there was debate as to whether it was going to be a checkered flag. And there you see, safety car will start them off this time. Whether it was going to be the checkered flag at the end of lap 20 or 21, because it was marginal as to where the leader was relative to the clock. The race actually went to 33 minutes in total. So it was a pretty generous extra lap that they were given. However, that was yesterday. Today, we start with Victor Martin, second in the championship. On pole position, Caio Collet, the championship leader, double winners both, and then David Vidales, third in the championship, third on the grid, and he has had 2 race wins. So you've got the top 3 drivers in terms of their successes, in terms of their championship positions, all at the pointy end of the grid. So the safety car will head into the pit lane at the end of this lap. You can see its pace being quickened, and then the race will get underway. So 21 laps yesterday. Let's see whether we can get to 20 today because of the slightly slower pace to begin with this safety car start then, as the cars head up now towards Chateau d'Eau out of the Imola chicane. Others that are a bit further back that might be worth watching, well, William Alatalo is definitely one of them. Adrien David is another. And what about British driver Alex Quinn, to mention him? He will be in the order in 5th place, qualified 5th. You can see them all getting ready to go. So the car's then ready to go racing. Safety car will peel in. It's up now to Victor Martins as the race leader to bring them up towards the line. Knowing when to accelerate, he did go. The car twitched a little bit there because tyres still cool, but he flicks out of the chicane. Green flag is waved. We go racing then in race 8 in Formula Renault Eurocup for 2020. There's the cement dust put down really where the pole position car would have been. They storm over the line. Dust in the air, everyone trying to go around it and then get back onto the racing line to dive into turn 1, the Magny Cours, down towards Estoril, turn 3, another long corner, and then this long, fast stretch all the way up to the Adelaide hairpin they come. So the race leader, Victor Martins, for the ART Grand Prix team, leads the pack as they head up towards the hairpin. Number 1 for RHGP, Caio Collet, the Brazilian. Vidales runs 3rd. In 4th place, it is Lorenzo Colombo for Bitec. And here you can see the importance of getting the inside line under braking. 51 dives to the inside line, D'Angelo Toth. It is Vicky Piria at the back of the pack. Vicky Piria moved across to the championship a week ago at the Nürburgring, replacing Nicola Marinangeli, who was injured in a road accident after Imola. We wish him well. Hope to see him back on track soon. Vicky Piria from GP3 and W Series, still adapting to car and circuit as the race leader then threads up towards the Imola chicane. Victor Martins with Caio Collet behind him. David Vidales 3rd, coming under attack from Lorenzo Colombo. 5th is Quinn, 6th is De Wilde going well. Susi 7th, Patacek 8th, David is 9th. And the last of the point scorers on lap 1 of real racing, lap 2 in real terms, is Amaury Cordial. Out of Chateau d'Eau they come. Over the brow, drop downhill, and Victor Martins getting away then on this first flying lap of the race. Brescia De Geras has gained 1 place against Vicky Piria. As you see, De Geras was at the back because he went off the road, caused the red flag, and therefore lost his lap time. So De Geras now trying to get on with the job as they bounce their way over the curve. If you're really bold, you can overtake on the way in, but you risk banging wheels with people. But it's a quick chicane, right over the curve if you can. And William Alatalo there dives to the inside line. Number 38, William Alatalo for the JD Motorsport team, comes up to have a go, can't make it stick, and there's plenty of energy being put into this little battle lower down as well. Hugo de Wilde now is on his toes to fend off Gregoire Saucy. Almost side by side they make the run on that part of the circuit. If you're really bold, you might be able to get a toe, and then it's heavy braking down towards the hairpin. Alex Quinn on the outside line there, going for 4th place against Colombo. De Wilde hangs on to his 6th against Saucy. Patacek is 8th. Adrian David is in 9th place, and 10th is Paul Aron. Flick through the Nürburgring chicane. Victor Martins did lead onto this lap by 0.7 of a second. We're on to lap 3, and he's getting away now as there. Look, the Wilder just a little bit wide, maybe coming off the chicane. Yes, loses the place. Gregoire Saucy up the inside line, and through he goes. So Gregoire Saucy takes advantage of a little slip from the Arden driver. Hugo de Wilde had one race win last year, but struggling to match that pace at the continuation of last season, in fairness. And again, this year, he's there or thereabouts in the top 10, but never really challenging for wins nor podiums. Clock ticks on down. Out of Chateau d'Eau they come. Championship's next stop in a fortnight's time is Zandvoort. And Tijmen van der Helm, who hurt himself in testing in the week, missing these races in order to get match fit for his home venue. Out of the chicane come the top 2. Getting away from David Vidales then, the Spanish driver, running in 3rd in his first year of car racing. He won on his very first car race outing at Imola a few weeks back. They're pulling out of the draft, having a look, getting back in again, Alex Quinn. And that last lap from Victor Martins, the leader, the absolute perfect lap. 3 purple sectors as he went through. So once again, cars swing their way up through the right-hander there of Estoril. And you can see that Franco Colapinto, number 11, is also hustling on to try to get into the points at the expense of Paul Aron. He's in the wheel tracks. Can he benefit from a tow here and then dive out when he goes to the outside line? That, I fear, is not going to work for him. Paul Aron defending the inside line, but Colapinto does get ahead. Brakes late, though, and then goes deep into the corner and gives the place back to Paul Aron. So briefly he was ahead, but it was on the wrong line. And so 1 up, 1 down as far as Franco Colapinto is concerned. The Argentine driver, just like yesterday, exciting to watch, but it's not working out for him as the cars again flick through the chicane, and off the road there goes 91. Aron has dropped the lot, slides his way onto the escape road, too quick through the chicane. That not only gives the place back to Colapinto, but it also will enable Cordial and possibly Alatalo to go through as well. So Aron makes a mistake, slides off the road, and that's very costly indeed. He will stay ahead just, I think, of Richard de Geras, but William Alatalo has gone ahead of him. So Aron falls out of the points. That was all self-induced. Race leaders drop downhill once more. 9/7 of a second between Martins and Caio Collet. And this is the replay. Wait for it to come into shot of Aron getting it way wrong off the road. Lots of speed, so he had to get the car sorted out. Big slide. Lots of correction that had to be applied. And he does eventually rejoin the racetrack, but the Hankooks now rather scruffy. They will have lost their edge for a lap. He'll need to clean those before he gets optimum grip out of them once again. Victor Martins the leader by now a margin of nearly 9/10 of a second, although Caio Collet brought the gap down slightly in the last sector of the previous lap. Up he comes in towards Adelaide, and yes, that gap is to the eye coming down. Their 3rd is Vidales, 4th is Colombo, 5th number 20 Alex Quinn, the Brit, 6th 93 there Gregoire Saucy. Alex Quinn yesterday got a 5th. He's in that rookie competition, which at the moment is being led by Vidales. Quinn 2nd, and Adrian David is 3rd, heading towards the end of the first third of the race. So Gregoire Saucy up a place at the expense of Hugo de Wilde. Colapinto has now gone into the points, having picked up a couple of places. Alatalo has gained 1, and Richard de Geras has also gained 2 places as you look lower down. Out wide goes Patacek, and he loses a place to Adrian David. So again, purely a driver making an error, and the consequences are pretty extreme. Overtaking not easy in slicks and wing single-seaters, but if you make a mistake, then you can't be surprised if people come flooding past you. And Patacek there for RHGP, a little bit wide. He's wide again coming out of Imola, and that now means that right on his tail is Colapinto into Chateau d'Eau. Together they run out of the right, drop downhill. And Franco Colapinto crawling all over the back of Petr Patacek. Can't find the inside line, but Colapinto looks for possibly a quicker exit now. Is he going to be able to plan a move down towards turn 1? Behind Colapinto is Amaury Cordial, and they're pulling out, having a look, slotting back in again is Cordial as they drop into turn 1 now. Martins' advantage still hovering around the 8/10 mark. He's not storming off into the distance against Caio Collet here. They're going through further back is William Alatalo, the Finnish driver, 12. But this is bad news as far as the championship and points are concerned. Out of the hairpin they turn. That's the leading group there. Adrian David ahead of Patacek. Colapinto tries to dive bomb him. Bang! You can see that coming. Patacek with broken suspension, flicked sideways, He tries to get going again, but it's a forlorn hope. All he can do is get the car out of harm's way. And there, with the broken suspension arm, the day is done for Petr Potacek. He left the door open. Now, whether Colapinto was a bit bold in trying it, let's have another assessment thereof, because there's plenty of room on the inside. Colapinto goes for it. Is he fully alongside? Not really. He's up the curb as he tries perhaps to back out of it. Bang, there is the contact against Potacek, and around he rotates. I fear Colapinto may have a case to answer out of all of that, particularly given that it's broken the car of Petr Potacek and it's put him out of the race, and the safety car is being deployed because the car is stranded on the road. So Petr Potacek has tried to get it off the road, but effectively with only 3 wheels touching the ground, and one of those being a rear wheel to give it drive, and it ain't going anywhere. So safety car start, safety car in the race, and this slows the pace down. Everybody bunches up. Safety cars breed safety cars, don't you know? So on the restart, they're going to have to be very careful, but it might give Collet a chance to attack. Victor Martins for the race lead. There is the Renault Megane RS. The safety car picks them up. And Victor Martins then works his way as the race leader, for the moment, untroubled, onto that fast back straight through Gulf, up towards the Adelaide hairpin. It's effectively called a straight. I mean, I know there's a little kink in it, but it is the fastest section of the circuit. And with the heavy braking into the hairpin, this is one of the key overtaking places on the lap. You saw the importance of it to Franco Colapinto. And the incident between him and Potacek is under investigation. All the drivers being told, come to this side of the road, please, because that gets you away from the race officials. So hug the inside line. Not everybody really understanding the message, but what they don't want is for people to run wide out of the corner and suddenly be confronted with the snatch vehicle, which is doing a very effective job with the marshals, getting the car off the track as quickly as. So maybe we can go racing at the end of this lap, because if it goes left in a moment onto that little strip of extra tarmac that you see, one of the cut-through roads, and then to a place of safety, we might be in business. Here's another replay of why we've got the safety car. Colapinto made the effort late. Not entirely sure he was fully committed to it, really, because he could see him backing out of it even before he got to the corner. Anyway, the net result was contact made. He was on the inside line. He has survived it. Franco Colapinto up into 9th place, but Steve Stringwell and the other stewards may well need to have a look at that and assess whether it was just one of those things, or whether there was a necessity for Colapinto to be penalised. So it's under investigation. We'll wait and see if anything comes of it. Here it is from another angle. Colapinto was up the curb, but you could see it coming a mile away. It was always going to be a pinch point, and Potacek turning across, trying to claim the line for the corner. Maybe equally, I mean, said Colapinto was bold to try, perhaps Potacek was not expecting it and therefore oblivious to what was going on, and could have given more room to Colapinto. But the officials are investigating. They'll have a look, and we'll wait and see what pans out as we approach the halfway mark in terms of the clock. Replay here of more incidents. Colapinto goes up the inside, but look, you can see him on the brakes thinking, no, it's not going to work, I'm not close enough. The car wasn't fully committed to the inside line, and that may well go against him. However, Potacek is out. Safety car in this lap, we are told on the timing screen, and that incident is going to be investigated post-race. So the safety car will be in at the end of the lap. It has just begun as it goes into turn 1. Victor Martins through in a race lead from Caio Collet, then David Vidales, Lorenzo Colombo, Alex Quinn and Gregoire Sosi. French driver leads Brazilian, leads Spaniard, then Lorenzo Colombo running in 4th place. The Italian Brit Alex Quinn 5th, and in 6th place Gregoire Sosi, the Swiss driver. As ever, Eurocup Formula Renault with a truly international lineup. Had quite a few drivers dipping in and out this year. Joey Alders, for example, did the first 2 events in Italy, but the Dutch driver then had a pretty miserable Imola weekend and hasn't been back. Nicola Marinangeli, having hurt himself, will be back soon, we hope. And Jonathan Hogarth had a run at Imola, went well in the second race, but had an off, but showed good pace, but that was only just to keep him fresh, really, a one-off outing. So we've got the nucleus of the championship here again this weekend. Safety car in this lap, as I said. There you can see Potacek's car well out of harm's way, and the safety car comes down to 180 with the race leader, Victor Martins, looking for a third victory of the season. He was the runner-up in the championship last year, so really, pressure is on Victor Martins. He's got to win it. He's got to maintain that career momentum. Caio Collet, part of the Renault Sport Academy, whereas Victor Martins dropped from that. Oscar Piastri, a member of it, of course, this year's new FIA Formula 3 champion, won it today. And the leading trio getting ready for the restart then as they come up towards Chateau d'Eau. 71, the car of FA Racing's Magny Cours, the only FA Racing car in the entry. And now as the safety car heads for the pit lane with the lights out, it is up to Victor Martins to control the restart. Still weaving around. Caio Collet gets bored with doing all of that and just sits tight, ready to go. And now sprinting away is Martins, and he's made a great restart there. Look to get the drop on Caio Collet. Pulls that 2 or 3 lengths. The danger is, though, Martins does it there. The car almost gets away underneath you. Now, out of the chicane, we go racing again into the second part of the timed element of the race before that regulation lap is put on at the end. Leader goes through, so Victor Martins across the timing line. Caio Collet second, David Vidales third, Colombo runs fourth, Quint, Sosi, De Wilde, Adrian, Colapinto, Cordial. That is the top 10. 14 minutes and counting, plus a lap still to go here at Magny Cours. Speed builds as they come then now with the tyres getting back up to temperature, up towards the Adelaide hairpin. And as they break the beam at the end of the first sector, Victor Martins trying to get away. He has done so by 10th. Adrian David in the yellow Renault Sport colours up the inside of Colapinto, who locks up, goes wide. That, I suspect, is what he was hoping for. Tatchek would do a lap ago. But as it happens, Colapinto, having gained the place before the safety car, loses a place this time around. And it was a mistake by going deep into the corner and locking up that gifted that to Adrian David. So the two of them squabbling over 8th and 9th places. There is David. His next target now is going to be Hugo de Wilde as they turn through almost nose to tail there. So Adrian David trying to make progress forward. There, though, the race leaders. Victor Martins versus Caio Collet. Third, it is David Vidales. Over the brow they come into that fast Imola sequence. Turns 12 and 13. 14 here is Chateau d'Eau at the top of the lap. I have a look at number 11, Franco Colapinto. He's under investigation, admittedly, but whilst that Damocletian conversation takes place, he wants to get on with the job here and gain positions if he can. Top 2, as before the safety car, shaking off David Vidales. Out of the chicane they come. Martins over the timing line. Let's see what the gap is. Then it is 6/10 of a second. 9 laps are in the book. 12 minutes and counting, plus a regulation lap at the end as they pour past the pits. Adrian David then hanging on to his 8th place. Colapinto 9th. Cordial is 10th. That's Laszlo Toth, the Hungarian driver, going by. The field accelerating now up towards the Adelaide hairpin once more. Lap 10, they're currently working here as they go underneath the bridge, under the footbridge, hard on the brakes. Victor Martins trying to make amends for yesterday. A little bit of a lock-up there, and he hooked a wheel onto the curb on the outside. Gets away with it. A challenge on the inside line, 71. Whoops, getting it all wrong. That is Magny Cours. William Aratalo goes past him. Paul Aron goes past him. So Cordial trying to defend the inside line, makes a mistake, goes out wide and loses 2 places, and significantly falls out of the points as a consequence. Here is the replay. Have a look in the background. So Cordial is under attack from Aratalo, tries to cover the inside line, brakes late, but then realises there's traffic ahead of him, has to steer away from Colapinto to avoid contact, goes deep into the corner and loses 2 places. Victor Martins, race leader, trying to hustle on and get away, whereas third, the white JD Motorsport car Bear of David Vidales, under attack from Lorenzo Colombo. ART Grand Prix from R-Ace, from JD Motorsport, from Bitec, from Arden, from ART in the top 6. Victor Martins, though, the former French gymnastics champion, doing a great job up front, coming now out of the chicane. Second is Caio Collet, and we're about to break into the final third of the time portion of the race here. Through they come over the timing line once more. 10 laps in the book. That last lap from Martins helping to extend the gap to 8/10 with an absolute best in sector 1, a personal best in 3. So stringing together a good lap, extending that margin. Magny Cours, former home of the French Grand Prix, of course, and it's had a very busy weekend with the Eurocup, Formula Renault, and indeed GT World Challenge Europe joining an existing French GT round with a huge support programme. So it's been a very busy weekend for everybody involved. A couple of night races last night, going well towards midnight. But for the Formula Renault teams, their first track activity of the day, they had a long wait. The earlier race they had late afternoon yesterday, but now back on track, and with Victor Martins making amends for an average start yesterday that went against him, and he fell from second on the grid to third place in the race. Top two go through, battle on for third still, isn't it? David Vidales then ahead of Lorenzo Colombo in the first sector, though Colombo is quicker in the second sector. Vidales is quicker. So again, you've got this bungee cord between the two of them, this rather elasticated situation, third and fourth. In fifth place is Alex Quinn, and he's not closing enough really to think about a threat against the two ahead of him. Then you've got sixth behind them, Gregoire Sosi, heading up towards the completion of the lap. So over the timing line has gone Victor Martins, two absolute bests in sectors that time around. Quinn goes by, number 20 behind him is Sosi, then De Wilde. Rest of the field comes streaming by, and there David Vidales just goes a little bit deep into the Estoril right-hander. So easy to make a mistake. Maximum concentration for the 30 minutes. It's a long race and a lot of track time given to the drivers. They have lots of testing in the week of a race at the venue. Then they have the collective tests, as they're known, rather than free practice. Qualifying is pretty short sharp, but then you get these longer races. So by the end of the week, you've driven many a mile around the circuit, and you see how drivers progress over the course of a weekend with the extra time spent in the car. Best testing that was done by Caio Collet, who had a win yesterday, and he's here in second place at the moment, but it seems unable to go after the race leader. That lead gap 9/10 of a second. So there, the top two head up towards Imola. Over that slight rise in third place, Vidales from Colombo. Now what's going to happen further back? Franco Colapinto, I think, is lining up to have another go at Hadrian David for 8th place. So those two getting themselves closer. But of course, it's the age-old problem. You get close to a car, run in the dirty air. It has the negative effect on your aero, and you end up going slower. And there you can see Hadrian David storm down the hill, trying to fend off Franco Colapinto as the leaders now come out of the chicane. Number 20 goes through, Alex Quinn, second in that rookie contest. Now, maybe as we get towards the business end of this race, Caio Collet is having one last push, because he's just done two absolute bests in the middle and third sectors of the previous lap. He's done the fastest lap of the race as a consequence. So Caio Collet now, let's see, well, Martins responds with an absolute best, and a lock-up from Collet as well as he goes into the corner. So Caio Collet drops another 10th. Come back to this elasticated situation. You close a bit, then you make a tiny error, and you lose a bit. So it's still advantage Martins right now. 7 minutes of the timed element still to go as the cars flick again through the chicane here. You can hear the rumbling over the curves. Flick right, left, out of the Nürburgring chicane, then into 180 that brings them around. And then this run once more up towards Imola. The top two having done a very good job of shaking off David Vidales, the man that runs in third place, who in turn is getting away eventually now from Lorenzo Colombo in fourth place. So the gaps are starting to creep up as we get towards the very end of the race now. Gregoire Sosi then, having rounded out the top six, still under attack from Hugo de Wilde. Adrian David is under attack still from Colapinto, but Victor Martins just needs to keep it clean. Don't make any errors, because even if Collet gets a little bit nearer, it'll be hard to pass over the timing line. Great lap by Martins with two absolute bests and a personal best in the sectors. 1 minute 34.1 therefore becomes the best lap of the race. Caio Collet second, but he's not close enough to think about attacking. In fact, on that lap he lost quite a chunk of time, not only with that little lock up at the hairpin, but he's now over a second adrift. David Vidales third, the Spanish driver, new to car racing this year. First ever car race was the one that he won at Imola back in July. And as the cars now storm their way up into the Adelaide hairpin, in fourth place you've got Lorenzo Colombo, the Vitec driver, in the Mont Blanc colours, turns now out of the turn 5 hairpin, the Adelaide hairpin, and the safety car light is on there. The safety car deployed again. Now, why is this? Who have we lost and where? There's the flag. Renault Eurocup, I fear, may have gone missing. There he is, and he's in the gravel. And although the car is about to be extricated, the safety car will need refueling after this. It did the start process. It's its second visit of the race. Renault Eurocup, who caused a red flag in the qualifying session for this race, has caused a safety car in the race itself, and is about to be, hopefully, whisked out of harm's way. Oh, except, no, Snatch vehicle gives up on that plan. So what are they going to do? Do they need to lift it rather than tow it? Either way, that is a car that is going no further. So big frustration for the French driver Renault Eurocup, dad, a former rally competitor. There's the safety car, waiting for some friends. Renault Eurocup walks away. How are they going to get that car moved then? Out of the chicane they will come. Victor Martin's the race leader, but having just been able to build up a gap, it is now going to disappear. They'll all close up, of course, under the safety car. A process like this, how many more racing laps are we going to get in? 4 minutes plus a lap on the end. There's the safety car, so everybody finds it, and of course the laps now become much, much slower, whilst the field heads around under the safety car for, well, certainly one more lap, possibly two. Let's wait and see. Shouldn't take long to get Eurocup car out of the way, but I'm a little puzzled as to what vehicle they're going to use in order to do that. It's on the edge of the road as far as that trip to the that trip over point between the gravel and the tarmac is concerned, but it is runoff tarmac. It's not on the racing line. Right, Snatch vehicle's back. Maybe it needed a different hook, but it's here. It's got the job done. Car almost out of harm's way. So fingers crossed we can go racing at the end of this lap. It's the car out of harm's way. It's also, of course, the marshals back on post. That car is almost behind the barrier. There's the flatbed to receive it, and the safety car is, if you like, behind that on the lap. So it'll go by, finding that the road is just about clear, and therefore we should be able to go racing. Rather undignified sight of the Tatuus chassis being lifted into the air. Rather precarious operation this, as it now has to try and go between the barrier. Yes, look away. Right, there's the safety car. Heads up towards Imola, riding the curve. So even though it looks like it's a slow lap, the safety car crew pressing on, and it will be in this time. So we're going to go back racing, which will give us possibly 2 laps even within the time. And then the regulation lap on at the end. Renault Eurocup reunited with his car. That will go to the flatbed. And the 8th race within Formula Renault Eurocup is about to get underway. The cars come out of Chateau d'Eau. Remember what Martins did on the first safety car restart, got them all stacked up behind him and then accelerated away, got the drop on Caio Collet, who is hopefully going to be on his toes slightly better this time around, as here they come accelerating down towards the Complex de Lycée. You can't overtake until you get to the timing line, but Martins is away and gone. Vidales right there on the back of Collet. Can he make a move then, heading over the line into the first corner, through they flick out of the chicane, racing again at Magny Cours then. 1.5 minutes to go of the timed element. It is going to be close, just like it was yesterday, ironically, as to see whether or not we are going to have the last lap at the end of this, or they're going to squeeze one more in by a second or so, because again, from where the race leader was coming up towards the timing line, it was very marginal indeed. However, Victor Martin storms away. Best lap of the race, a 1:34, and it was around that when the cars were released. So here comes Martins then, up now towards the Adelaide hairpin in the background. Franco Colapinto under attack and going way, way wide and straight on indeed. Paul Aron, I should say, missed his braking point completely, got into traffic, arrived far too quickly up the escape road, and Aron losing places. So he was 11th at the start of the lap. Paul Aron drops yet further back in a really checkered race for him. He's been off the road and back on and off the road and back on. More places lost, as there through is 92 than the race leader Victor Martins. So the ART Grand Prix driver looking for win number 3 of the season. So far, so good. And again, look at the way that Caio Collet has easily been able to get away from the JD Motorsport car of David Vidales. He's becoming a regular front runner, Vidales, but not with the outright pace to go for wins, seemingly. Downhill go the top 2. And the clock is, as you can see, close to 0. We are close to the last lap. But is it going to take 13 seconds for them to get out of the chicane and up towards the timing line? It is going to be very tight indeed. Here they come then. About to break the beam. If the official has one finger in the air, it'll be the last lap. No, it's not. So there's this and one more for the sake of 3 or 4 seconds. So through they go. The clock hits 0, but it'll be the +1 lap next time around by the look of it. So Victor Martins, 2 to go. Heads then through the Grand Cours. Lorenzo Colombo, number 53, still running 4th, would like to be within that top 3 if at all possible. Vidales, again, just does not have the pace of those 2, admittedly more experienced drivers, both of whom raced in the championship last year. He covers off the inside line going into the hairpin. Colapinto up the inside, he's been there before, and this time it's the outcome against him. Broken suspension against Hadrian David. So Colapinto tried it against Patacek. Hadrian David, who was involved in an incident very similar yesterday, gets back in the race, but loses all of the ground that he'd made up. And Franco Colapinto, that's him done. He's being investigated for 1, and he gets involved in a 2nd. So 8th and 9th, effectively eliminated. Have another look. You can see in the background, Colapinto. Again, look, Hadrian David is covered off the inside line. Colapinto goes late. He brakes so late and so hard, the car gets away from him, almost under braking. Others try to get round him. Poor old Paul Aaron is involved there as he has to come to a dead stop. Colapinto gets out of the way, but Franco Colapinto, I'm afraid, was the cause of all of that. It was a move that wasn't really on. He tried it a bit late, and the net result was that it spoiled Hadrian David's race. Caio Collet, in the meantime, has just done the absolute best middle sector as they start the last lap now. So he's having one last go over the timing line. Caio Collet 2nd behind Victor Martins. David Vidales is still 3rd. 4th is Colombo. 5th is Quinn. 6th is Sosi. 7th is De Wilde. And then up to 8th now, William Alatallo. Up to 9th, Magny Cours. And into the top 10, Vicky Piria just goes over the line in 10th place. So a real shuffle around compared to what we had on the opening lap of the race. And most of it has all been because of incidents up at the hairpin. So Vicky Piria ahead of Laszlo Toth. And then Paul Aaron, and only 12 still circulating as Victor Martins comes up towards the hairpin, turns into the right-hander. The yellow flags wave as Colapinto's car is, of course, parked by the side of the road. They go past the incident zone, back up to pace. Martins leading. Absolute best has just been set by the leader in the first sector of the lap as he comes now into the 180 corner. Turns his way through the long left onto the power once again, and now the cars accelerate their way up towards the Imola chicane. The checkered flag is being made ready, and it looks as though it is going to be win number 3 of the season for Victor Martins. He took 2 at the Nürburgring, and he's on target for success here as well. Turns right out of Chateau d'Eau, downhill he drops. David Vidales, the best of the rest, in 3rd place, but Victor Martins 3rd yesterday. He's going to be the race winner today. It's going to make the championship fascinating as well. This battle between Martins and Collet for the title. Checkered flag at the ready, and it's a race win for Victor Martins. He wins race 8 within Formula Renault Eurocup 2020. Caio Collet 2nd, 3rd David Vidales, 4th goes the way of Lorenzo Colombo ahead of Alex Quinn and Gregoire Sosi. 7th will be Hugo de Wilde, 8th William Alatallo. Then you've got Magny Cours 9th, and Vicky Piria. Does she hang on for 10th place? The answer is yes, ahead of Laszlo Toth. And then Paul Aaron in 12th place, massively frustrated, and so is that man, Hadrian David, who gets to the end, but again badly delayed after being tagged into that spin. Well done, Victor Martins, though. Not an easy race to win, in as much as he had to control that safety car start and then 2 safety car interventions. Tyres losing temperature, losing pressure, and of course with the traffic closing up as well. But he got the job done, and a really good result for Victor Martins, then the race winner. So Victor Martins victorious at Magny Cours, 0.6 of a second. His winning margin. Caio Collet 2nd, and David Vidales in 3rd. Lorenzo Colombo 4th ahead of Alex Quinn and Gregoire Sosi. Hugo de Wilde taking 7th place ahead of William Alatallo, Magny Cours, and Vicky Piria gets her first points in the championship. Out of the points, Laszlo Toth, Paul Aaron and Hadrian David, with Colapinto, De Geras and Patacek, the 3 that we lost with incidents with damage. So the stewards, if they thought they had an early flight, can think again, because there's quite a bit to investigate post-race. But the race started, as we saw, behind the safety car. That was all to do with an incident in a previous race, putting liquid and debris on the road. So to avoid that, the safety car start with the green flags flew. Victor Martins took an early lead, edged away from Caio Collet, and was able to build that gap as they flicked their way through the chicane. The first casualty, though, was Paul Aron running off the road, falling down the order. Got back on, only to have another drama later in the race. Franco Colapinto had a go on the inside, which did perfect Patacek. He'd do the same late race to Hadrian David, and he would come off worse that time around. So to get Patacek off the track, we had the safety car back out. Everybody bunched up. Martins made a good restart and accelerated clear. Collet second, Vidales third. No change in that leading order, as Magny Cours was lucky not to harpoon Colapinto as he got it wrong at the hairpin and let Alatalo get ahead of him. Martins then trying to build the gap over Caio Collet. Off the road went Rashid de Geras. That brought out the safety car again. And it meant that they all bunched up once more behind Victor Martins, who was on his toes on the restart, edged away and tried to build that lead over the remaining minutes of the race. Franco Colapinto had another go for position, and this time he came off definitely worse. Broken front left suspension. 91, Paul Aron having to come to a dead stop to avoid making contact with the stranded car of Hadrian David. But through it all, it was a race win for Victor Martins. Caio Collet taking second place, and David Vidales coming home in third spot. So well done, that man. 92, Victor Martins is the race winner, and they're the cars in the presentation area. So there's no podium as such, of course, but the drivers will make their way to the interview area, and Gemma Scott will be down there to have a word with the victor himself. Victor Martins getting out of the car. The victor, the spoils and all that. There, the drivers get their caps. The drivers have to be weighed. The cars are weighed, so too the drivers. So you see the Renault Sport technical team there. Out clambers a very happy Victor Martins for ART, to whom he pays tribute. Jumps down, puts the steering wheel back onto the car. Quite right too. And then he will make his way to the team to say thank you and well done. And then he will go and be weighed to make sure that the combination weight of driver and car fits the regulations. Poses for the cameras, and then now Victor walks across. So the pressure on to a degree this year. Runner-up last year, he really ought to be winning the championship. Caio Collet congratulating David Vidales. Victor Martins arrives on the scene. Face masks ready to be provided. Pretty rare, you actually get to see what the drivers look like these days, just in that fleeting few seconds before the masks go on. And there is Victor Martins making his way to the scales. Data is recorded, and down steps the race winner for the third time this year, Victor Martins, victorious. Now face masks, hats, everything being provided. The Renault Sport team making sure that all the COVID protocols are adhered to. Next stop for the championship is the last week end of September at Zandvoort. Let's hear though from our winner. Victor Martins is with Gemma Scott.
A huge congratulations to you, a fantastic drive, and that just goes to show why you are a man to look out for in the future.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard race actually. The pace was not impressive, but I still managed to have the same gap during all the race. I had to manage 3 times the safety car, and yeah, I managed quite well. And yeah, I just thanks the team, because we are always there after Nürburgring. It's 3 wins after 4. So yeah, it's going to be good for the championship.
Absolutely, congratulations, well done. And Caio Collet is just standing by. Come join us, Caio. For you there, you were pushing very, very hard to catch Victor. It looks to me that this championship this year between the two of you is really going to go the distance.
Yeah, I think it was really nice. I did the best as I could today, but I was trying to push him for a mistake or something, because it's quite hard to overtake. But I mean, he did a really good race, and he deserved it. And yeah, big thanks to my team. I think the car today was mega again. And yeah, quite happy with the weekend, and let's see what we can do afterwards.
Thank you very much, and
Thank
well
you.
done once again.
Thank you.
And David, come in and join us just quickly. David Vidales there, finishing in 3rd position and pushing very, very hard, but you just didn't seem to have the same pace as the 2 boys ahead of you.
Yeah, they were faster than me. They have a better pace, so they deserve to be in front of me today. So I did what I could, especially after the safety car. I was trying to be close to them, to try after the straight, to push them to make a mistake, but they were faster, so this was the maximum today.
But for your maiden year in cars, this is an incredible performance.
Yeah, of course, it's really good. Also for the championship, it's really good. For the team, they have done an amazing job. So step by step, we are improving, and for sure the next race it's going to be good, and I hope we can fight for the victory next race.
Well done, congratulations.